I am in another one of those moods where I just want to just complain. Have I ever done a video with no makeup before? I don't think so. And it's not a pretty sight. I'm an esthetician. I should really be ashamed of myself. I talk a lot about how much I really like the Korean Language Institute and how I love being out here. And the disclaimer for this whole video is like, well, first of all, I'm getting ready for a date. You know, I'm an adult woman. Okay, I'm gonna do my own thing. Listen, this is my Self Beauty Uniconic Pore Controlling Essence Primer. I'm just giving it a little shake. I haven't used it in probably a few weeks, so I'm just, gonna make sure she hasn't separated. I talk so much about how I love the Korean Language Institute. I love the university, and I really don't have anything bad to say. But I have a new Korean teacher, and I'm not the only one who hates her. Really, that woman is hot garbage. And so today, she didn't do really like anything in particular that really pissed me off today. But she was just her usual annoying self, and I just can't stand it anymore. Now, before I begin saying, my 2 cents and the situation and giving you a little story time tea, this has been brought to the office's attention. I'm not just coming on here bitching and not doing anything about it. And if you spend money for an education and you're not getting your money's worth, I do believe it is okay to speak up. So I've not only talked to the office, I've actually talked to her about it too, which we will get into. But I am in level 5. I'm having a good old time. I have one of my teachers that I've actually had in the past, and she is one of the most talented teachers I have ever met in my entire life. I mean, she just has that gift. It is extremely jarring to go from Monday, Tuesday, and half of Wednesday having my horrible teacher, and then having the other half of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, having my really great teacher. But we started off level 5 really just about 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago now. So we're over halfway through the level 5. We're over halfway through the level 5 quarter. I don't have too much more time with her. Thank goodness. Oh, by the way, this is the Neo cushion the Neo cushion from Laneige. This is the matte version. This stuff is so good. Absolute favorite cushion. If you want any information on it, if you want like a full review video, I'll happily do it. This stuff is my favorite. I have such bad eyesight. I'm like, how are we doing? So when I first met this teacher, I just adored her, which really sucks. But she has got to be one, and to her credit, I will give credit where credit is due. She has got to be one of the most charismatic teachers that I've met at the Korean Language Institute. She really does have a natural stage presence. And she, unfortunately, or fortunately, she really does have that gift of gab. But that's about all she does right. I'm getting messages, probably from the date. Where things started to go south pretty quickly is that she has never done a really good job explaining the grammar and the vocabulary to us. She really just starts every chapter and it's just go, go, go. To the point where we finish class really early. Like, I'm talking really early, and we're just sitting there and she's like, I don't know, just do the homework. So we just sit there like for the last bit of class, just like doing work in our workbook, and she just like sits there on her phone. And level 5 is extremely difficult, especially the way that our textbook is set up. If you haven't watched my video on the textbook system that we're using, go and check that out, because that'll help explain a little bit more what I'm talking about right now. But we need a lot of guidance with how we're learning Korean. She just treats it like we already know the language, and it's like rapid fire question and answer time. So not only are we, I'm like, this is how I work with this cushion. It probably seems really funny, but I'm like, it's matte, so I just go boom, 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 boom. I'm really trying to get it in there before it, it dries. So it's just rapid fire, like, question and answer with her, and she does not give us any time to prepare. It is so frustrating. And on top of that, she'll tell us, oh, you're taking too much time. You're taking too much time. Girl, hi, I'm from America. I speak English, baby. It takes me a little while to process Korean and then try to form Korean sentences. I'm not able to respond to you as quickly as you want. Bitch, you gotta work on your patience. Not only that, but it's not just me. It's with everyone. Now, that brings me to my other favorite thing about this teacher, and that's that she uses what in Korean is called saturi. Saturi is like an accent. So, I know the teachers at the Korean Language Institute are not supposed to use saturi. They're supposed to be speaking standard Korean to us so that we're able to understand. But this teacher speaks saturi to the point that our best students in the class who have been in Korea for years. I mean, my best friend in the class is married to a Korean man who has the same saturi, and she can't understand what this damn teacher is talking about. So not only is she rapid fire asking us things in a foreign language, telling us to be super quick about it, and complaining when we're slow, she also speaks with saturi. So even if we really wanted to answer her question, we understood what was being said in the textbook, I don't know what the bitch is saying. Where I really started to not like this teacher was one day. Not many students were there. That doesn't make what she did okay. But it was the day after we did a quiz. Not many people were there. We're just kind of waiting for people to roll in. And she passes our quizzes back so that we can see the grades. And, I got like an 80%. Girl, I do not pick up Korean as easily as a lot of these other people do. Watch my other videos if you want me to go in depth about that a little bit more. I love learning Korean. I'm not complaining about the fact that I get to learn Korean. But, what really, I like to think that I've got pretty thick skin. But I'm very, very, very self-conscious about my Korean ability because I am surrounded by people who speak Korean so well in this class. So well to the point that after level 5, they are going on to actually study here in Korea in classes that are taught in Korean. I know, and this isn't me beating myself up. Please don't take it that way. I'm not beating myself up. Like, I just don't pick up Korean like that, And so I'm just doing the best that I can, and so I'm slower than other people. And I got this 82% on this quiz, and I was so proud of myself. That was the highest grade I've ever gotten in level 5 before. I was in heaven, okay? And so she goes, the writing portion of this quiz, a lot of you really didn't do very well on it, especially Ciaran. My head whipped around so fucking fast. She's like, yeah, I spent a lot of time really teaching you how to do this writing portion, and you just wrote whatever you wanted. And that is word for word what she said to me in Korean. I was so insulted. I asked her, well, did you understand what I wrote? She said, yes. I said, and did I pass? She said, yeah. I was like, so what's the problem? She just kind of laughed. She blew it off. She had no idea that I was mad, Okay, whatever. So I needed a second to calm down, so I go out. I talk to my mom on the phone. My mom's a therapist. God bless that woman. I tell you, raising me, that woman has so much patience. I have nothing but respect for that woman. I love her. This is an old Sephora brush. It's actually a contouring brush. Contouring. Use brushes however you want. Coty Airspun powder. Love this stuff. Gives you clown lung. Great for drag. So anyway, so I go out, I talk to some people. I'm like, I go up to the office because at this point, you know, so many complaints had been, you know, like we'd been getting so many complaints. The other students don't like her either. And like no one comes to this class because she is so awful. We've got 17 students, and on this day in particular, maybe like, gosh, maybe 9 students showed up. No one wants to come to class because she's so bad. So I go to the office and I'm finally like, you know what? I'm just going to be the whistleblower. I'm just going to be like, hey, I think you might want to do something about this teacher. She just told the entire class that I like did really bad on the quiz. I didn't pay money to have that happen to me. And, you know, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You know, we'll get to the bottom of this. I was like, okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I don't like to bake. I just like to put a lot of powder there, just kind of like let it sit. Is that baking? That's baking. I pretty much just described baking. I go back down and she's teaching, what's it called in English? In Korean, they're called sokdam. Sokdam? So she's teaching like idiomatic phrases or something. I feel like I might need to backtrack because I think I might have just derailed myself a little too much. So anyway, I go back to class after just going to the office, having a great talk with my mom, just feeling a lot better about it. Almost feeling a little like, oh, whatever you do now doesn't matter. I finally told the office that you're a shit teacher. Oh, it's so mean. That is so mean. And so I go back down and she's teaching idiomatic phrases, sokdam, and one of them translates to speaking to the cow's ear or something like that, which means it's a useless endeavor. It's something that will never work. And she looks at me and she says, for example, 예를 들어서, trying to teach Ciaran to write on his quiz was as useless as speaking to the cow's ear or something like that. But you know, everyone laughed and I'm sitting in class. There's a lot that I am not sensitive to, and I try in Korean class. I do my homework. I show up. That really pissed me off. So I took a picture of the PowerPoint. I took a picture in the book. I sent it off to the office via the messaging system. I was like, your teacher just mocked me in front of the entire class. I'm going home. We're done. I'm not doing this anymore. I mean, of course, I was going to come back. I was like, the next day, I was just way too mad to keep going. So I pack my shit up and I walk. I'm like, you're not going to talk to me that way. I paid money to have a teacher mock me. I mean, I can go to another Korean language institute. And the office was like, oh, we're having a meeting with her. I was like, damn right you are. This office, the people in that office, amazing, amazing. I go in the next day. We do class, whatever. And at the end of class, the teacher stops me and she's like, Ciaran, you left early yesterday. I said, yeah, I did. And she said, why? And I said, you know, I'll tell you why if you really want to hear it, but I don't know if you like the answer. She said, tell me. And I got to give her props for, you know, listening. And I said, you know, what you said to me yesterday really hurt. And what I said to her was, I have an issue where I compare myself to the other kids in this class. And that's my issue. But when a teacher compares me to other students in front of the class, that really hurts. And I did not appreciate that, and you can't speak to me that way. And no, she didn't apologize. I didn't expect her to apologize, but she said, and I will once again give her credit for this, she said, you know why you felt that way? It's because you are good at Korean and you are working hard. So, of course, you're going to be sensitive to that kind of thing. Which, listen, that was nice to hear. And she said that she wasn't going to do it again. She didn't apologize, which I didn't expect her to. She's just too headstrong. Fine. Okay. That's as best it was going to be. Now today, she just keeps doing that stuff she's just lazy. She just takes phone calls all class. She texts her son, and she's just all over the place. She needs to be teaching a different class. She's got the skills to be a good teacher. She just really cannot effectively. Today, we were just all so over it. Like, we were just, the whole atmosphere in the class today was just so awful. She, like, takes up our class time talking to students and, like, cracking jokes and taking phone calls, and it's just so unprofessional. For example, today, she had this moment where we started a new chapter that she was just like, these are a lot of new words, but, you know, we're just gonna go ahead and keep moving. And we're all looking around like, we just are gonna start a new chapter and then just dive right into the meat and potatoes of this chapter, like reading and answering questions and listening, and you're not gonna teach us these words? So she's asking us all these questions. She's like, okay, fill in the blank, you're taking too long, fill in the blank. And we are all sitting there scrambling to, like, find these answers, and she's like, you're taking too long, what is it? And we're looking through our book like I don't know, hold on, I'm reading these answers. And then she'll call on someone else because we're taking too long. It's like, I'm not retaining any information in this damn class because this teacher sucks. So my friend who sits next to me, I'm not naming any names, you know, some of these people watch these videos. She turns to me and she's like, she turns to me and she's like, if I wanted to just learn shittily, I could have just stayed at my house and studied with my cats. And then she pulls up on the little, like, Google Translate thing in her native language. She types in, give me my money back, and shows it to me in English. I was dying. Lordy. What an awful teacher. Awful teacher. It's going to get resolved. That office pulls through. I'd recommend my Korean Language Institute just over and over again. I have had nothing but wonderful experiences there. A teacher does not reflect the actual school. And that's that. I mean, like, and of course, like, now that I've had time to kind of settle into what's going on, I can at least enjoy class a little bit more, and I can stop stressing myself out so much. There's just so many great teachers that, like, could have had this position, and, you know, we got this one. Lordy. This is the Laneige Glowy Lip Balm. Is that what it's called? It's a little tinted. I like it. I'm really into Laneige stuff right now. Who is the judge? That girl from High School Musical. She did that episode of Drag Race where she was like, I'm really into voguing right now. That's my favorite thing to say. Not the voguing, I'll just take, like, anything. Like, I'm really into lip balm right now. I'm really into witchcraft right now. I'm really into DP right now. Oh my god, why is that one of the things that comes to mind? I'm fucked. Are you kidding? Anyway, everyone, thank you for listening to me, bitch. If there's one thing I know how to do, it is bitch. I'm really trying to be a more positive person. Here, this is my way of relieving stress. Y'all get a good story, and I don't know. I de-stress, whatever. I need to just shave my head bald. Okay, this is the Microfine Perfect Fix Mist. Oh my god, Microfine Perfect Fix Mist. Makeup Fix Whitening Micro Spray by Club Cleo Professional Makeup. I have a love-hate with this. Well, there you have it. Anyway, everyone, that's gonna be it for this video. I need a record deal. That's what I need. If you want to hear more, like, complaints or weird story times, I have got a story time about my least favorite Japanese teacher that I had back in, like, 2014 when I was a college student. I think she's, like, since been fired. She was awful, but that could definitely be a story time. She was a monster. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're having a wonderful 2021. Let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know how you deal with terrible teachers, and I will see you all in court. Bye! Oh, gonna turn off the video.